In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The heavens were vast, filled with countless angels and celestial beings who worshipped and served the Creator day and night. Among the children of God, there was a being of great beauty and pride, Lucifer, the light-bearer, who once stood among the highest of the angels. But his heart was lifted up with pride, and he sought to exalt himself above the stars of God. He desired to be like the Most High, and through his rebellion, he led a multitude of angels into disobedience and rebellion against God's divine order. Because of their rebellion, the angels who followed Lucifer were cast down from heaven. They fell into darkness, and their spirits became bound in the depths of the spiritual realms, awaiting judgment. The fall of these angels marked a great tragedy, for they forsook their divine purpose and became the agents of chaos and sin on earth. Yet God's justice was firm, and his mercy still longed for repentance and redemption. Amidst this divine order, there was a man named Enoch, a righteous man who walked with God. Enoch was known for his unwavering faith and obedience to the Lord. His heart was pure, and he delighted in the commandments of God. One day, as Enoch was resting in his house, he experienced an extraordinary vision. He fell into a deep sleep, and suddenly, two radiant beings appeared before him. Their faces shone like the sun, brighter than the noonday sky, and their eyes burned with divine fire. Their garments were of purple hue, and their wings shimmered with gold. Their presence was awe-inspiring, and their voices were like the sound of many waters. The angel stood at the head of Enoch's bed and called him by name, saying, "Enoch, do not be afraid. Fear not, for the eternal God has sent us to you today. We are your messengers, and we have come to take you on a journey through the heavens." Enoch, filled with both fear and wonder, gathered his courage and responded, "I am here, Lord. Speak, for your servant listens." The angels told Enoch that he was chosen to ascend with them into the celestial realms and witness the majesty of God's creation. They instructed him to prepare himself and to tell his household what he would see, so that they might also be guided in his absence. Enoch hurried to his sons, Newell, Reem, and G, and shared with them the marvels the angels had revealed to him. He urged them to turn their hearts to God and walk in righteousness. Then, the angels lifted Enoch on their wings and carried him up from his earthly dwelling into the first heaven. As they ascended, Enoch saw the vast expanse of the ether above the earth, a great sea of crystal and light. The angels brought him before the elders and rulers of the celestial host, the guardians of the stars and the divine order of the cosmos. In the first heaven, Enoch saw the treasure houses of snow and ice, guarded fiercely by angels who held the keys to these cold and terrible stores. He observed the treasure house of dew, which resembled olive oil and the flowers of the earth. The angels showed him how these treasures opened and closed, their gates guarded by mighty beings. These treasures were used by the Lord to nourish and sustain all life upon the earth. From the first heaven, the angels led Enoch upward to the second heaven. Here, darkness reigned supreme. It was a realm of shadow and gloom, more profound than any darkness on earth. Prisoners of conscience and spirits of disobedience hung suspended, awaiting the great and terrible judgment of God. These prisoners were guarded by dark angels who wept continuously, lamenting their fate and the justice of God. Enoch asked the angels about these prisoners, and they explained that they were God's apostates, those who disobeyed his commandments, engaged in witchcraft, sorcery, and unnatural sins. They had forsaken righteousness, worshipped false gods, and caused chaos and destruction on earth. Their deeds included theft, murder, lying, slander, envy, and fornication. They had built idols and bowed down to lifeless images, forsaking the true Creator. Because of their rebellion, they were condemned to darkness and torment, awaiting eternal judgment. The angels then took Enoch higher, to the third heaven. This realm was filled with beauty, goodness, and divine splendor. Trees of flowering fruits and fragrant plants grew abundantly. In the midst of the garden was the tree of life, where the Lord himself would dwell when he entered paradise. The tree radiated golden vermilion and fiery glory, producing fruits of every kind, honey, milk, oil, and wine. The roots of the tree stretched deep into the garden, which was a place of perfect harmony and divine blessing. Everywhere in this realm, angels of great beauty and brightness served the Lord with joy. They sang sweetly and tended the garden, which was a symbol of God's everlasting mercy and grace. 2 springs flowed from this paradise, one pouring forth honey and milk, the other oil and wine, dividing into 4 streams that flowed through the earthly realm, nourishing all creation. From the 3rd heaven, the angels guided Enoch to the northern side, where they revealed a place of terror and torment. This was a realm of unquenchable fire, darkness, and ice, where the wicked suffered everlasting punishment. Fiery rivers flowed through this realm, and the air was thick with smoke and despair. The angels showed Enoch the instruments of torture, chains, whips, and weapons, prepared for those who had rejected God's law. Enoch exclaimed, "Woe, woe! How terrible is this place!" The angels answered, "This is the dwelling place of those who dishonor God. Those who commit unnatural sins, such as engaging in witchcraft, summoning spirits, and defiling others, are cast here. They boast of their evil deeds and exploit the weak. They worship false gods and build images of stone and wood, which they bow down to and serve. They are cursed and damned because they refuse to acknowledge the Creator and instead follow their own wicked counsel." Next, the angels lifted Enoch to the 4th heaven. Here, he observed the celestial bodies in their courses. The sun and the moon moved in their appointed paths, the sun traveling in a great circle on wheels that never ceased to turn. Its light was brighter than the moon's, and it was accompanied by a host of stars and angels. The sun was attended by thousands of angels, who watched over its journey day and night, ensuring its proper course. Enoch saw the sun's path and understood how it governs the seasons and times. The angels showed him how the sun and moon work together to mark the days and nights, and how their movements influence the earth. The angels explained that God's wisdom and order are reflected in these celestial movements, which serve to uphold justice and harmony on earth. The angels then led Enoch to the 5th heaven, a place inhabited by the Gregory, angelic beings that appeared as humans but were larger and more somber. These angels had withered faces and silent mouths, for they had rejected the light of God's truth. They were the fallen angels who, along with their prince Satan, had descended to earth and corrupted the human race. Their deeds had led to the rise of giants and chaos on the earth. Enoch asked about these angels, and they explained that they once served the Lord but rebelled against him. They took wives among the daughters of men, engaging in wickedness and causing lawlessness. Their offspring were the giants, who brought violence and destruction. The Gregory mourned their fallen state, awaiting God's judgment on the great day. From the 5th heaven, the angels carried Enoch upward to the 6th heaven. Here, he saw the council of the archangels and the celestial hosts that oversee creation. These angels had shining faces and pure hearts. They recorded the deeds of mankind, observing every act of righteousness or wickedness. They governed the seasons, the stars, and the waters. They issued commands and warnings when evil was detected. In their midst, Enoch saw 6 phoenixes, 6 cherubim, and 6 seraphim, all singing praises to God with voices so harmonious that they shook the heavens. These beings served as the glorifiers of God's divine order, and their songs of praise filled the entire realm with joy. Continuing his ascent, Enoch reached the 7th heaven, a place of dazzling light and fire. Here, he saw ranks of archangels and heavenly forces, dominion, powers, virtues, and principalities, all standing before the throne of God. The throne itself was a magnificent, blazing fire, surrounded by cherubim and seraphim who continually praised the Lord. In this realm, Enoch saw the Lord himself sitting on his high throne, surrounded by a radiant glory that was beyond human comprehension. His face shone like a glowing iron, emitting sparks and flames. The Lord's presence was awe-inspiring, and his beauty was indescribable. Enoch trembled, feeling unworthy to behold such divine majesty. The Lord looked at Enoch with mercy and said, "Fear not, Enoch. Do not be afraid. Come closer, and stand before my face for eternity." At his command, the great archangel Michael approached and lifted Enoch up. The Lord then instructed Michael to remove Enoch's earthly garments and to anoint him with fragrant oil, filling him with divine glory. Michael obeyed, and as he anointed Enoch, the oil shone brighter than the sun's rays, radiating divine light. Enoch's appearance was transformed, and he looked like one of the glorious beings who served around God's throne. His face shone with heavenly radiance, and he was clothed in garments of divine splendor. In that moment, Enoch was granted a glimpse of the Lord's face, a face like glowing fire and burning bright with divine power. Though he could not fully describe it, the vision left a lasting impression on his heart. He saw the myriad angels, the hosts of heaven, and the throne of God in all its splendor. As the vision ended, the Lord spoke to Enoch, saying, "Go, and proclaim these things to the children of men. Live righteously, for the hour of judgment will come upon all who reject my commandments. But those who walk in my light shall inherit eternal life." Enoch, filled with awe and reverence, bowed down before the Lord and praised his holy name. The angels then lifted him up and carried him back down through the heavens, guiding him safely to his earthly home. When Enoch awoke, he found himself back in his house, overwhelmed by the divine encounter he had experienced. He knew that he had been given a special revelation, a glimpse into the divine order, the fall of angels, and the ultimate glory of God's face. He was to be a messenger, to warn the wicked and encourage the righteous to walk in God's ways. From that day forward, Enoch dedicated his life to sharing the divine truths he had seen. His story became a testament to the majesty of God, the reality of spiritual realms, and the importance of living a life that honors the Creator. This journey through the 10 heavens reveals the order, beauty, and justice of God's creation. It reminds us that although angels and beings of light serve Him, those who rebel face eternal separation and torment. Yet, God's mercy is infinite, and His plan of salvation is open to all who turn to Him in faith. Remember, dear friends, as you reflect on the story of Enoch and his heavenly journey, that God's glory is beyond our understanding, and His justice is perfect. Let us live lives of righteousness, worship Him with our whole hearts, and seek to know His divine will. Please like this video if it blessed you, leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below, and share this story with your friends and church family. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring episode. Together, let us pursue a life that honors the Lord and prepares us for the eternal glory that awaits.